This is Teddy Hart. I am the past, present, and future professional wrestling. Welcome to the interactive interview.
Interactive Wrestling Radio. Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 2 of the Teddy Hart interview on the interactiveinterview.com. Hi, Teddy. How you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Doing real good. We have some sad news to start out. Your thoughts on since we talked to you last, your grandfather, Stu Hart, passed away. Any thoughts about that?
Just that wrestling world itself, I think, is going to be missing Stu Hart for a long time. And besides probably Vince McMahon, I don't think there was too many promoters in the business that were that big of an impact on any sport. And I miss my grandfather all the time. And I believe it's our job, my job, and Brett's job to continue doing what Stu did, which was keeping people happy and promoting wrestling shows and possibly promoting the best wrestling shows on earth.
Moving on to yourself, you were recently at, obviously, what is now one of the most talked about events in media circles in recent history. So recent Ring of Honor events, basically. If you want to give us your view of what went down.
Just wanted to, before I touch it, I'd like to thank God for the interview and Rob Feinstein for giving me the opportunity for wrestling in Ring of Honor. It was a tremendous experience, besides the negative ending. What I thought happened was there was a group of wrestlers in the back that had prior heat with me that were well aware of my ability and my style, and that were looking for basically anything, and I mean anything they could pin on me to create some controversy, try to get me kicked out or banned or blackballed from their business or their show so they didn't have to work as hard. And I'm not going to get into name dropping. I don't honestly believe they're even worth me saying their names. A bunch of them can go on the net and do all the shit talking they'd like. I don't have time to go on the net. I'm too busy coming up with new moves to continue to make you player-hating guys hate me more. Because when you're hating me, I know I've made it. The guys in Ring of Honor couldn't handle a little 3-sequence move at the end of a show, which the match itself had no psychology. It was a kibosh cage match with 10 guys or 12 guys in it, and at the end of the match, I guess, and I don't have any recollection of this, and I've stated it many times, but people didn't want to believe me. So instead of going on and apologizing, I'm going to defend myself accordingly. And I did a moonsault off of, I say, a 24, 25-foot cage to the concrete, landing on a 130-pound Mexican, Joel or whatever, which one it was. And I guess he also dropped me on my head in the match because he couldn't catch me on a spot. So it was kind of a receipt in the end that God must have made me land on him out of all the guys, because I don't remember what happened, but he was the guy that I guess I landed on. I don't know how a 130-pound wrestler would have saved me off of a 25-foot fall. I didn't hurt him. I didn't get hurt myself. I climbed back up to the top ropes, I guess, did a shooting star press off the cage, which I believe is the first one in the history of wrestling. I haven't seen anyone else do it. The move hasn't been put over at all. Not once. I haven't seen it put over. But the fact that I did it without permission from what boys, which would have never found out that the move, in Smarks, and 5 years ago, would have never known the move was unplanned anyway, because they would have never been able to hear these wrestlers bitching. It would have just been like, holy, did you see Ted Hart give us a little extra show at the end? But instead, these guys went and read about what these wrestlers are saying, changed their opinions the next day. Instead of all loving what I did, which they did the first night, they all started hating it based on stuff they would have never found out anyway. The 4 or 5 guys that were writing on the internet were all boys that were like basically telling the fans stuff they would have never known. The other 3 teams that were involved in the match all spoke to me after the match, said that we had no problem with what happened. How do you feel? We know you have a concussion. They believed me. There was no problems. Samoa Joe, my friend is walking in the back, and there's some girl, and she, I don't know, looked like a street hooker to me. I don't know what her name is. Steve Corino, I guess, was with her. And I'm being nice with the comment of street hooker. She looked horrible. And she gives my friend some comment of, you're a piece of shit or something like that. You guys are fags. Something really nasty. And my friend said, what? And what are you talking about? And Samoa Joe immediately stepped up and started telling my friend to get the hell in the back, that he was a bitch. And my friend is fearless, and he's not going to back down from anybody. So Samoa Joe grabbed my friend and tried to start fighting with him. And I don't want to endanger anybody I'm with. And I'm sure in hell, maybe Samoa Joe's going to beat my lights out or whatever, but I'm not scared of anybody. If they're going to kill me, they're going to kill me, so be it. But I had to sit there with some sort of etiquette and try to be polite to Samoa Joe. I ran over there, broke this thing up. He said because I laid hands on him, he's the captain or king of this locker room, that I'm dead. And threatened me he was going to kill me and all this stuff. So I waited patiently for him after the show with, I think, 3 guys mad at me. And then the whole locker room started to go. There was 4 or 5 guys that were on my side that said, we're not getting involved in the politics of this match. What you did was not at all worthy of what their reaction was or is, and it's continued to get worse and worse and worse. So Samoa Joe came up and then threatened me. He had like 10 guys holding him back, that he was going to kill me. I continued to apologize like a professional, stating A, that I didn't remember, and B, if I pissed anybody off, I wasn't trying to. Nobody put it over on the net. More people went on the net and then said that I had disrespected Jim Cornette, which was another lie. Jim Cornette's one of my favorites. Anytime the guy speaks, it's an honor. I sat there after the match, which was a very, very hardcore match. I was barely conscious, trying to listen to him and at the same time take what he's saying and apply it to my life so in the future I don't make the same mistakes. And these guys go on and say that I was disrespectful to Jim Cornette, that I wasn't listening to him. These are all false statements. These are all lies based on wrestlers, not fans, because the fans weren't there. These are all these wrestlers that are either leaking information to Smarks or going on the net under private names, and I don't have time to check their IP addresses and do all the detective work to find out which mark turned wrestler, which wrestler turned internet mark that wants to go play games on the net under somebody's name. Ted Hart's a brutal high flyer. You know, all these comments, this fuels the fire for me. This is publicity. That you can diss me and say I have a bad attitude. Ask the 30 guys I've helped out in Calgary, or ask the 15 or 20 kids I continue to train for free. I'm a good person. The people that know me know I'm a good person. The fans that watch me know I give everything I have to try to better their day or their life. So when they spend their $50 on watching Ted Hart, they know that Ted Hart gave them everything he had. Not because I'm getting paid to, but it's because I believe in the people, because they believe in me, because there's 100 other things they could have been doing. And it's an honor for any person to choose me or wrestling as a sport or a pastime for them to watch. So to continue wrestling, going in the way it's going, I'm going to continue to do what I can do as an athlete to better my performance, to make fans have a better time in the arena. So whenever they leave, you know, as a wrestler, the first thing on the fans' menu or on their kids' menu is going to be wrestling in the future. And that's the way I continue to better the sport and keep wrestling alive, a sport that's made my family very wealthy and world-renowned.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Brilliant, thanks for that. You mentioned a second ago you apologised for your behaviour and whatnot. Was it the apology that was circulated around the internet, was that really sent out by yourself?
No, the apology that was on the internet was something that we had discussed as a promoter. Like, there's 4 or 5 people that work with me. Like, I went on these shows and I wanted to state that I paid for my own ticket for the first Ring of Honor show, and I also paid for my friend's ticket for the first Ring of Honor show. We never got paid for the second Ring of Honor show. I think we got $100, something like that. And we took a chance because it was basically like a risk thing that Rob Feinstein had said that if we could get over and we wanted to take the chance of flying ourselves out there, that basically, you know, it was hit or miss. If they liked us, we liked us, we'll think about doing business in the future. So I took the chance of going out there. After the 3rd show, I wasn't going to be doing any more work anyway. I had my own promotion in Calgary. So when the whole thing went sour, I thought, let's send an apology out because I am sorry. And if people want to shit on the apology, then you know what? Then no offense, but screw you too then, because I have done nothing wrong but try to be a gentleman.
Right.
I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't affect anybody's career. I didn't break anyone's neck. I didn't punch any fans. I didn't do anything besides a couple extra moves, and which one of the moves I do is a move I always do to honor my uncle Owen Hart, who passed away in the ring. And this is 3 days after my grandfather passed away. And these ignorant sons of bitches in the business who shouldn't even be lacing their boots up, and honestly, I say it time and time again, A lot of the guys that were talking smack on the internet can't wrestle, and that's why their whole days now going crazy thinking about what Ted Hart's going to do next and what are they going to say on the net about Ted Hart and like what smut picture they're going to put on my website. And it's like, I'm so happy that they're thinking about me. I'm flattered.
Speaking of punching fans, there was an internet newsletter, and I can't quote who it was because I don't recall, but I was sent a copy of it just before this interview saying that apparently you did punch a fan. Do you have any response to that, and what is the story behind it?
Oh, I think it was like a plant fan that was trying to get in the wrestling school, that is the wrestling school, and he wanted to like get involved in the show, and I wasn't going to do it. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean, just like sometimes there's those guys that come to the show that you know who they are, but they're trying to act like they're a fan, not a wrestler.
Right.
Even though they're quite aware of what the business is all about. And we don't have security at our shows, so he crossed into the barrier and was like talking in my face. So no, I gave him, I think his dad like grabbed him or something like that, and it looked like maybe we were shoving or whatever. But no, it was actually kind of a joke. The kids actually have free tickets for that. They ended up getting 5 free tickets out of the whole thing. The dad came up to me after, so no, I didn't punch any fans. I hope I would never have to. Like I say, most of my career is dependent on making fans happy. Fans are my fuel to continue, like I say, going out there and pissing off the jabronis that shouldn't be in the business anyway, because if this was a true competitive sport like hockey, those guys would have never made the cut in the first place. We have a bunch of guys like the backseat boys and myself and upper echelon athletes all talking about how talent can't stop talent, and how I haven't got a call from the backseat boys crying that I stole their heat. But Joel or Jose or whatever, one of the guys, if that's them themselves on the internet, if they can read or write, I wasn't sure about either one, talking about me, and that they've talked to Red and a couple other guys, and that they got big problems with me, and that I'm not a real high flyer and stuff like that. I don't remember ever saying I was a high flyer anyway. I thought I remember maybe saying that I was the past, present, and future of professional wrestling.
Right.
And that maybe I'm the most well-rounded wrestler in the business in the future. And that's only something the fans are going to put on me. Me giving a self-proclaimed statement that I am like the best wrestler, that's something I would never say. And that's after, like I say, 15 years of being in the business that Brett started saying it, because I don't think the Harts have ever been much for putting themselves over, because the fans have always been the first to put me over. And I think it hurt those wrestlers' ears to hear those fans chanting my name after I landed on my feet off a 26-foot moonsault. Regardless of the psychology of the match, the fact I could get up and no-sell it is what pissed them off, because they can't do the move, period, because they'll break their legs, let alone jump up, give the fans a little salute. How's it going, you know? Did I hurt the fans?
No.
Were they pissed off? Wasn't this about the fans in the first place?
I agree with you.
The fans hate me now because I had no psychology. Do most of the fans know what psychology is anyway? I don't think so.
No.
Then I thought I did my job as a wrestler. The fans were happy. I created some controversy. All the people that have nothing to do but want to talk and write on the internet are all busy now. So I've made wrestling fans happy or pissed, period. But at least I've provided them something to do.
Right.
Speaking of the internet, both Steve Corino and CM Punk both wrote up pretty scathing commentaries on the internet. Do you have a short response to those two men?
Steve Corino's a jabroni. He's the shits, man. Honestly, I watched him wrestle a couple times in the dojo with WWE. He stunk then. He's worse now. If it was a shoot fight, and I say I challenge him to step outside any time, any place, anywhere on earth, and I'll knock him out one punch. If he's got a big mouth and he wants to do shoot interviews with Rob Feinstein, put your money where your mouth is. Hop on a plane. I'll fly you out first class, my friend, and I'll fly you back in a body bag. For real. That's not a joke. You got big balls on the internet. You got big balls. You didn't say shit to my face. Nothing. You hid in the corner until you had Samoa Joe do your dirty work for you. And CM Puke said nothing to me. He was trying to score pot at a show. I saw him, and that's where I saw him. And that's why he's the first guy to go on the net and say that about me. Don't you find that kind of funny? Some guy trying to cover up his tracks instantly? I don't remember having to go on the net and say anything about the guy. I actually thought the guy was decent until I realized, obviously, he's so scared and threatened by my existence as a wrestler that he's got to go out and write a 4-page letter, making sure to spell check every line. That's where I find it kind of funny that I've never had that much time as a loser, winner, nobody, jabroni, somebody, third generation Hart, to go on the computer and talk about another person that much. There's never been another person in my life that's ever affected me that much, positive or negative. Martin Luther King, Tupac Shakur, Eminem, I haven't had that much time to write about them and the way they've inspired my life, or Stu Hart, let alone talk about CM Punk or CM Puke. A guy that, why is he in the business? Because he's a ripoff of Raven? Did Raven open the door for him? Obviously. The guy is a nobody. If he wants to take the same offer, he talks like a big shot. I'm pretty sure I'm not that hard to find. Call Dave Penzer, take the booking. Meet me in Calgary. That's to the fans. If these guys got big balls and they want to diss me, then why don't they take the opportunity? I come from a fairly wealthy family in the wrestling business. I think we're all aware of that because of the fans have been supportive of the Harts and Stampede Wrestling. So why don't these guys take advantage of my inheritance, take a little first-class airplane ticket up to Calgary? We've had the Olympics up here. It's a great city. Enjoy a little first-class treatment. I'll pick you up in a limousine, and when I meet you, we'll have a little show. One-on-one. That's like as simple as you can get it. I'm not going to do any talking on the net. I just offer an open invitation. Not to, hey, do you want to come up here, Ken Shamrock, and have a shoot fight? Not at all. I'm saying to two guys specifically that went on the net and publicly wanted to challenge me and personally wanted to diss me, that both those guys I don't think could last 2 minutes in a ring with me. Throw out the rules. I'd love to have each one of you guys come down to the dungeon so I could stretch you. That would be an unbelievable pleasure for me. And if the fans want it, I'd put that on closed circuit pay-per-view. I'm sure they could watch it on the internet. Rob Feinstein might even be hungry enough to come up and do a shoot interview with both individuals after they got their jaws broken by me.
Wow.
It's an open challenge. So
open challenge for those two.
Hey. If they even hear this, then they can contact Dave Penzer and get it set up.
Absolutely. No holds barred. One-on-one, if they have the guts to come up and do a fight, shoot fight. If they want to do a wrestling match, that's fine too. But understand then, my friends, now you're coming to my city. And I hope, like I say, why, if they don't, I came to their city, right, all by myself, knowing I already had a pass with them. I had the balls to go out there. I didn't have a bodyguard with me. I got my bags thrown out. I got threatened. I didn't run away. I took their abuse. I've taken all their shit on the internet. I'm just offering an open invitation because I don't have time to go on the net and give you a whole bunch of crap. Real simple. If you hate me and you want to fight me, fly up and meet me, and I'll pay for everything.
We've got 5 more minutes left on the clock. So a final question that we have for you is, you mentioned in a recent interview on the Get in the Ring audio show that yourself and AJ Styles had a small conversation about signature moves and whatnot. Can you elaborate on that at all?
Yeah, I just wanted to set this straight too. I've actually been a huge fan of AJ Styles. I wanted to bring AJ Styles in for Mat Rats. I was one of the individuals that paid for AJ Styles to come in for the Stu Hart birthday show when I wrestled Sabu. AJ Styles was on that show. I have a couple points with AJ Styles that some of the moves he does, he may feel that he's invented or whatever, and he is the world champion of a promotion like TNA, but he's not the world champion of the WWE, and I'm not getting paid or contracted by TNA or Ring of Honor to do anything except for steal the show in my mind. So I didn't know, and it was an accident with the move, the Spinal Tap, and out of professionalism I would not have done the move. AJ Styles was very polite to me, came up to me and gave me a brief rundown that he's doing some moves that I think he's pretty sure that I do some of the similar moves if I could not do this move and this move, and I said that's fine. And then one of the moves he'd said was a Spinal Tap. I wasn't aware of what it was. I ended up doing the move. I apologized after. He never spoke to me again, and that was about it. And I just, everyone's putting AJ Styles over as one of the best wrestlers in the world, and I agree. And I just want to offer the same invitation to AJ Styles on a professional wrestling basis, that I believe we'd have an unbelievable match, and that I'd love to offer an open invitation to him to come up and throw his hat into this tournament for the next generation Stampede Wrestling World Championship title. Because he is on our top 10 list, and so is Christopher Daniels, so is Sabu, so is Harry Smith, Stampede Kid. other wrestlers, I think like Jack Evans, but AJ Styles is one of the guys that I'd love to perform with for the fans, and I believe we could put on an unbelievable performance if he's willing to come up here. Like I say, it's his own personal beliefs about me. If he's got a problem with me, I'd like to know what it is. Personally, I don't think I've ever done anything wrong to him. But like I say, people have stories and misconstrued more shit in wrestling business than that. So if AJ Styles hates me, it wouldn't be a surprise to me. AJ Styles might be too busy looking good himself to ever even worry about Ted Hart. He's doing pretty good at his own career. And I have like one more little note, basically with regards to like Eminem, Tupac, Biggie, all these guys, Elvis Presley, when they started breaking in the business and they started wiping people out, they had a lot of player-hating sons of bitches trying to stop them. And guys like CM Punk and Steve Corino are guys that are never going to make it in this business because guys like me have talent, and they don't need razor blades or cheap gimmicks or great interview mic skills to get over, because the fans, when they see their face, know that guy's meant to be a star because God blessed him to be a star. And I'm so sorry to those individuals that don't have the genetics or the breeding or the blessing from God. I don't know what it is, but they just don't have it. And don't hate me for having it. Go to the gym and try to get it yourself, because both those guys need to spend more time in the gym, less time at McDonald's, and less time on the internet sitting on their asses writing cheap marquee, what's it called when they go on there, Meltzers?
Dirt sheets?
Dirt sheets. I'm so sorry. I don't even know all the lingo in a business. I should be, you understand my point. I get revved up and stuff because this is my life and I'm very passionate about what I do. And obviously those guys aren't, because they don't even look like wrestlers. If I saw them on the streets, I'd give them $5 each. They look like panhandling bums. And that's the same reason they have bum-style comments for the fans that don't know anything about me. And in 3 weeks, I highly recommend that every single wrestling fan on earth, if they like to see death-defying moves, watch the Ring of Honor cage match from Elizabeth. I believe it was in New Jersey.
Right.
You check it out. It was the craziest match on earth. And there's more heat about that match for that reason than any other thing in the last 2-3 years of wrestling, independent wrestling history, I've been told. So thank God again for the opportunity. Thank Rob Feinstein because he's got a great editing crew. And I hope Doug and him get that tape out just as soon as possible, so all the fans of the world can understand why I say, with validity, I am the past, present, and future professional wrestling. And all you player-hating sons of bitches wishes you could be me. And all the girls want to see me. And all your kids, when they get to meet me, will understand I work for them. God bless you.
Now available on the Wrestling Epicenter store. Remember the glory days of Herb Abrams' UWF Wrestling? Well, the glory days are back, as they originally aired, not the rebroadcasts. Enjoy Fury Hour. Many episodes, many sets available now on DVD at WrestlingEpicenter.com.
This is Bret the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Interactive Interview.
But if you want to unbreak my broken heart, girl, you don't have much time. Take my finger off the trigger, 'cause I'm gonna pull it. It's getting too late for a second shot, girl, before I change my mind. It's just another case of love and bullets.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Interactive Interview. We're out of control as always. What do you think, Dan?
I'd kind of go along with your theory that Teddy's insane.
He's not insane, no.
I'm joking. No. Teddy, did I say insane? I meant intense.
Intense, maybe. Insane, no. But I said we're out of control as always because it seems like between our Francine incident, the ongoing struggle with a certain wrestling company that shall remain nameless, us guys at the Interactive Interview, we're getting in the middle of some stuff, aren't we?
Indeed. We do seem to.
Yes, we are. And you know what, Dan?
Hmm?
I'm saving this remark, and I'm going to repeat it again on our 50th anniversary show. Well, not 50th year anniversary, 50th show anniversary. I don't think we're quite that old yet. But I'm saving this remark. In the time that I've been in this show, I've made close friends that have turned against me. I've gotten to work with a company that I hope to work for once I graduated college, and apparently that's not going to happen. I've been told that somebody wants to kill me, bring me back to life again, and kill me again. And you know what? I love this business. I love this business. Daniel's silent. I think he thinks I'm sadistic.
Awkward silence.
Yeah. I think he thinks I'm sadistic.
No, I think, I don't know what I think. I seem to think nothing, it seems. I think that it was a great interview, and obviously Teddy, another one of those two-time guests on the interactive interview. I had a couple, but they've all been good.
Who have we had twice? We had Trinity twice, Randy Savage.
Got a cough, have you, James?
No, I'm just trying to...
Yeah, throat checked out.
I was just making a remark that if you were listening a couple seconds ago when I said I had a close friend that turned against me, you know what I'm talking about. You know, if you could put 2 and 2 together, you could probably figure out what I'm talking about.
2 and 2 equals 12.
Absolutely. 2 and 2 equals 22.
Oh, yeah, you were. I was close to 12, wasn't I?
Yeah, well, you were only 10 off, yeah.
Okay.
If this was a math test, I'd give you partial credit.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, where were we?
I think we were in my front room.
Oh, really?
No, not really.
I like how you decorated the place.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I think we're just talking about...
The Teddy Hart segment. Now,
yes.
Let's take a look at what he said. More or less, he threatened, or not threatened, but invited Steve Corino and CM Punk, and to a degree AJ Styles, to come up to his place in Calgary to either have a street fight or some kind of a real fight match.
Correct.
What is your take on this?
It'd be interesting because I was speaking to CM Punk, and CM let me know that it'd be quite an unfair fight, really, because CM's had shoot fight training, so that's where his background is.
CM Punk has?
Indeedy.
It's impressive.
So,
Is
but it'll let me know that and just explain why it'd be quite an unfair fight, in his opinion.
I don't know. I'd like to see it. I don't know. Teddy, there's an old saying, and I can't remember the saying, so maybe I shouldn't have even said that.
True.
But usually the guy who's more pissed off in the fight is going to win. I mean, that's just the way it always goes. The more you're pissed off you are, usually you're going to win. It doesn't always go that way, but 9 times out of 10 it does.
And the more person is more motivated for it.
Absolutely. And what I'm saying is Teddy Hart, to me, sounds pissed off.
You listen to that last, 30 seconds to a minute of that interview. And you tell me if that's not a madman. A madman in the right way, in a good way. He's on a roll. He's got something to talk about. He's got something he wants to settle.
What did you say about what did he do for 30 seconds?
The last 30 seconds of the interview.
Yeah.
But he's just on a roll.
Right. He doesn't have anything. He didn't have anything to hide, and I think the rumor is, or at least we have the impression, that just before our interview with him, the second half, he went on the website and listened to the first half. And he says it because he seems to mention the Sabu match as though we knew what it was, which in the first interview we gave him that impression. So I assume he knows what we were talking about.
Exactly.
Plus he had asked...
You requested it, the information before we came along, so we mentioned that we obviously knew that we interviewed him.
Right.
And so he said, guys, can I check it out?
Yeah, he wanted to hear it. He asked if it was still... He asked if it was still available to hear. We said yes, it is. If you go to theinteractiveinterview.com and either check on the right-hand side of the website, which I think it's still there, is it not? Or you can click the full list link, or guests link, or archives link. Any of those 3 links will eventually take you to the right place, and you'll get where you got to go.
Exactly. That's what I think. That's why I like the site, the way I've coded it and programmed it, because it's very easily accessible.
Right.
It's not one of those sites where you have to tie yourself up in knots and go to archives and then back to interviews and news and columns to find interviews and find archives.
Yeah, but every other... No. I won't say anything. I will say that. But other shows, they make it just as easy as ours, don't they?
No. Not the one I'm thinking of.
I'm being sarcastic, so I guess
All right.
it didn't shine through there.
Good. Sorry.
By the way, Father James Mitchell asked me if you were the same guy that does the NWA TNA website.
No, I'm not, unfortunately. Why?
No, because he said it looks the same. He said we use the same, text and everything.
Oh, thank you.
So he said he thought it looked really, really professional. And he liked the graphics and such.
When did he say that?
He said this about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And you tell me now.
I didn't think of it until now.
Well, thanks. A guy compliments me, he doesn't tell me.
Yeah, but if he insults you, I'll tell you right away.
Oh, thanks. Good.
Right, Egler?
Yeah, well.
Silenced him again, folks.
It bothers me. I'm just sort of laughing without laughing.
Oh, okay.
Laughing takes energy, face muscles, etc.
Yes, it's about 4 o'clock in the morning where Daniel is right now.
Yeah, it is. And James wants to get the interview up right away, so we have to do the recap right away.
Absolutely. Hey, Dan, what are upcoming guests?
I don't know. What are upcoming guests? Are there guests that are going to come on the show in the future?
Yes, they are. And who might they be?
Who might they be? Oh, that's a completely different question, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's like, can I have a hug? Well, you can. May you? No.
Okay. Our upcoming guests. We hope to have CM Punk to come and, talk about the small challenge, the small comments that maybe he made about Punk in his interview. Maybe. Gonna try for that.
Gonna try for that.
I want Sanjay Dutt.
Sanjay.
And I'm going to go through every single promotion until I can get him.
Sanjay Dutt.
Correct.
Da-da-da-da-da.
I've also booked...
Hey, have you seen your MLW tapes, by the way?
No, any at all.
I thought you were given the MLW tapes.
I was.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you said any new MLW tapes. My apologies.
Sanjay Dutt was not on your MLW tapes?
No.
Okay, because he's on the ones that I got.
Show off?
Bigger man?
You show off?
No, I was just wondering if you had seen him before you saw him on TNA.
Sure. I bet you did.
Hey, Dave Corleone, I think Dan's begging for something. Sorry, Dave, you're the man, but I think Dan is not being very discreet about not wanting to see any Sanjay Dutt he can. Which I think I'll have to alert his girlfriend about. Hey, he is the player from the Himalaya.
Yeah.
But you don't know if he might be a gayer. Huh?
Poor guy.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know, you're just kidding. The poor guy is being attacked for the recap. I mean... Oh, by the way, I rebooked Frankie Kazarian because we went to call Frankie last week and he wasn't in an area that had reception. So we called us back and we were on the phone.
That didn't work out.
We were chatting to each other, or we were chatting to a guest or a future guest or a past guest.
I think we probably, since that was the busy day... No, it wasn't the busy day.
No, it wasn't.
No, so we were probably talking to each other, trying to call other people.
We probably were.
Yeah, we missed out on them.
I blame you.
Thank you.
That's okay. No problem.
Alright.
So we rebooked him. He's coming soon this week. Also, spoke to Scott Chong and spoke to Doug Williams. Scott is going to get back with us after Thanksgiving because he is currently unsure of his schedule.
Okay.
And Doug is on tour in Japan at the moment. We missed our date. We missed the interview date basically with Doug because it never actually got back to him what date we was going to do. We was corresponding via email because James is in America and me and Doug are both in England.
Right.
So it works easier that me and Doug talk via email on the phone and whatnot.
I have a question for you, Daniel.
You may pose it as soon as I finished.
Okay.
Okay. And of course, and then Doug, problem between Hotmail and AOL. I sent an email from Hotmail to AOL, it never got through to Doug. I sent another one, didn't get through. We got to email 4 and it finally got through, but that was the day after the interview. So, yeah, that's why we never got Doug on before his tour. His newest tour in Japan. So as soon as he comes back, Doug Williams will be on the interactive interview.
What are the chances? What are the chances of getting the name that I've heard most when talking about English and British wrestling? Jody Fleisch.
I knew you were going to say Jody Fleisch. Well, he's retired.
I know he's retired. Is he going to give you the same reason that Tom Zink gave us? I'm retired. Well, yes, but I don't think you're retired from talking, are you? Silence.
I spoke to his webmaster, I believe, and I emailed him and his webmaster. I haven't had a response back from him yet. I've had a response back from his webmaster saying that a lot of people have said, can we have an interview with him? And of course, because we seem to be the most credible media outlet to have requested one with him, we're likely to get one, but he doesn't know when, whether Jody wants to talk, whether he's going to talk, etc. He's abruptly retired.
How old is he?
From something else. He's very young. He's in his 20s, easily. But, yep. And I disagree. I reckon that Doug Williams is more talked about when it comes to English wrestling. And possibly Johnny Storm, because he's been on TNA. Who we've interviewed, and you can see a Johnny Storm interview in our archive section.
Combined with the...
Very quiet.
He talks like a little girl.
Be nice.
No, he's a nice guy, but I'm just saying he just talks like he's... Hi guys, how you do?
That's the English accent, plus the fact that you've got a quiet voice.
So you're telling me that when you go to bars, there's no loudmouth English guy going, hey, you better shake it, homie? Or something like that.
No, because we're English, therefore we don't have an American accent.
Well, is there anybody saying it? Oi, cheers! Shake it, homie!
Maybe up north, I'm trying to work out if that was a really, really good impression or a really, really bad impression. I just can't work it out. But,
okay. So hopefully, I really don't like getting involved in these, like, controversial situations.
I do.
But I kind of like it, too. Like, I don't like it, but I kind of, love it. So I don't know.
You don't like it, you just love it. Okay, then that's
right. It's hard to explain. You don't, at the same rate, you don't want your name associated with somebody that's going to cause trouble. At the same rate.
Me?
Yes. Aren't you talking about?
You continue.
But at the same rate, we are bringing something that other shows don't bring to the table. We're taking chances that other shows don't take. And if there's anybody listening out there from other shows, other wrestling shows that are on the air right now, take a guess. We're the ones who are actually taking chances with other companies. And this is a remark that I made, and I'm not necessarily talking just about TNA, but I'm talking about MLW. When WCW and ECW were sold, well, ECW wasn't sold. That's a misconception that bugs the shit out of me. ECW went out of business. There's a difference. But anyway, when those two companies closed, I stopped watching wrestling except for old tapes and the occasional indie tape. When TNA came about, that's what brought me back to wrestling. What I'm trying to get at here is MLW started 4 days before TNA. MLW's first show was on June 15th, 2002. And I got that tape the second it came out. Now, what am I talking about here? I was checking out MLW's website. And in an upcoming interview with Johnny Swinger, I always say that. I always do that, I don't know why.
You do.
In an upcoming interview, we mentioned that MLW is defunct. Well, since we did that interview, they've announced new shows. Two names that are not on that list that drive me nuts are Jerry Lynn and Francine. These are the two reasons that I wanted to see the shows in the first place. Jerry Lynn, in my opinion, is probably the best in-ring wrestler I've ever seen, bar none. He's up there with Bret Hart in terms of how he performs in the ring. There's Francine, who simply is probably the greatest female performer in the business today. She's not going to give you a match like Lita can give you, but she can do so much more than Lita can give you in terms of, I don't know what the hell you're going to call it, charisma, attractiveness, anything. I mean, she's been around, she knows what she's doing. Why wouldn't you want two people that are experienced, still young, Francine younger than Jerry Lynn, but Jerry Lynn still has a lot to offer. Why wouldn't you use these two? I don't understand the ass-backwards logic that they're using. And that said, MLW.com is their official website. On their website, there is a forum. Much like 3SW forums, set up the same way, it's easy to use, and our friend Godzillion the Hulkamaniac also is on there. He came on because he saw what I was posting and he thought it was cool, so he signed up and he used it. And I know everybody thinks I'm him now, and this probably makes people think I'm him now more. And I invite Dan to go ahead and check the IP addresses, but I'm not him.
Blah, 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 blah. Continue.
What I am saying is, go on the forums at MLW.com. I started a thread. Go ahead and tell the people that you want to see Jerry Lynn and Francine there. Also, tell them you want to see friggin' Joey Styles there, too. I mean, Joey Styles is the only announcer in the history of wrestling that has pulled off a one-man show successfully. Now, I know Gordon Soley did as well, but I don't think even Gordon compares to Joey Styles. And I love Gordon Soley. So what I'm saying is, go on MLW.com. Tell them you want to see Francine and Jerry Lynn, because I know for a fact that they're listening to what you have to say. The Spanish announce team, SATs, Maximos, whatever you want to call them, the 130-pound Mexicans, as Teddy Hart just called them, they were brought back because the fans insisted. Well, Jerry Lynn is far better than the Maximos ever were. So why you would not bring him back is ridiculous. So go on there and tell them what you think. And if you agree with me, go ahead and tell them I sent you. I don't care. Have fun. But do let your voice be heard. And one other thing. There are other shows out there that I'm sure are raping MLW. Basically getting interviews from them, but they're not even promoting their shows or watching their shows. We ask questions about MLW, and we've discussed it in the recaps occasionally. We give it credit where it's due. So, from a fan of MLW, instead of just some asshole with the initial CC that rhymes with a female fluid, I mean a male fluid, what am I talking about? You know who I'm talking about if you're thinking. To use them for interviews and still not, you know, talk about them, that's ridiculous to me. So I'm saying this as a fan. As a fan of this business and a fan of those wrestlers who have given us great interviews, and this is not at their request, this is my own doing, out of loyalty. Go on there, let your feelings be heard, and you know what, just let your feelings be heard, because that's all you can really do. The fans of this business are why there is a business. There would be no MLW if the fans did not support it. There'd be no wrestling business if the fans did not support it. The reason there is a wrestling business is because we give it life. And I'm a fan too, so all I'm saying is, if you agree with me, go on MLW.com, let them know. Wow. That was like Teddy Hart style.
That was like Teddy Hart.
Yeah.
Well, is this the intent show? Am I missing something? Was there a script up at the beginning that I didn't catch? No, I don't.
Why don't you tell your Mexican rap joke again? Maybe I'll get it this time. I don't get it.
I'll tell it on the 50th show. Talking of which...
Uh-huh.
This show would be the 49th.
49.
And on our 50th show, it's going to be the 50th.
50.
And 51st.
51st.
Because we're doing it per interview, not per show. Because we sometimes have more interviews on a show than one. As we're going to do on Wednesday.
Right.
Or Thursday, or whenever it goes up. We've got 2 interviews for you.
2 interviews.
One's been recorded already, and one's being recorded
No, don't say that. No, they're not. They've both been recorded.
Go along with it. Okay, yeah.
Yep,
they've both been recorded.
Right. They're both ready to go up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time this goes up, yeah. Yeah, okay, they've both been recorded.
Right.
I'm forgetting it's still, we're recording this, like, yeah. I don't know. They've both been recorded, so don't send any questions in.
They'll be, by the time this goes up, we will have recorded the second one. They've not both been recorded yet, but as soon as this goes up, they've both been recorded. Go.
And they're great two people, both male.
Both male. The one is dating a very, very attractive female in the WWE. Actually lives with her.
Well,
Actually lives with her.
so yeah, well, we've got them.
Her initials are DM.
Okay.
His initials are SD.
And his tag team partner's got the initials JS, and it's not Johnny Storm. So, I mean, we can't really give you much more of a hint.
And I think they like recently had belts.
Just press the X button now. If you hit X button on the interview, you don't get who this is. Press it now, please.
And I think, weren't they like very recently, champions or something?
Mm-hmm. Champions of tits and arse.
Yes, they were.
Mm-hmm. As a team who like to tag each other into the ring.
Right. They don't do it because that's the rules. They do it just because it's fun.
It's fun, exactly. Yeah, I mean.
Even in singles matches, they like to when they're facing each other, one stands on the apron, they tag, they get out of the ring, they tag again, get back in the ring. It's just like fun getting back out into the ring.
Exactly.
Right.
And they'll be on the show on Wednesday talking about how they like to tag in and out of the ring, and it's fun.
Right.
So we're going to have to ask one of them something about that. Just make it funny and do that, or.
Oh, there's a good. No, we're not. If you want to ask, that's fine, but I'm not.
Okay.
Hey, enough people think I'm an asshole for no apparent reason.
I'll tell you what. I'll ask.
So here's what I'm going to do.
Tagging. Do you enjoy the tagging, like the slapping of each other's hands? Oh, sorry. I'll do it.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
Well, we haven't done it on one, but by the time this goes up, the other one will be done.
I will have done it by the time you're hearing this.
Right.
So there. All right. Yeah.
What was I going to say?
Thank you.
So, like I said, we can't thank you guys enough for listening to this interview, listening to Dan and I screw around. Make your voice heard. This is the interactive interview, and I'm asking you to interact with a company that's about to make a big mistake. And I will not lie. I'm a fan of MLW, even though they do things ass backwards, but this is the most ass backwards thing they've ever done. Even more ass backwards than putting Jerry Lawler over Terry Funk when Terry Funk is challenging for the world title and Jerry Lawler is a comedy character on the WWF program. That's even more ass backwards than that.
And don't forget, we do have actually really, we're not just joking, we have our 50th and 51st interview this Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, whenever it goes up. I don't know, I don't care. We've got it then, so check out the show. It's going to be big, it's going to be huge. We've got people lined up for not only this, but for the recap. We'll be chatting, doing stuff, hanging out with the crew, west side, left side. Pick it up. Adios.
All right, and there's a good chance that if you stay tuned.
Oh, yeah. We may have
something
else coming for you.
Yes. Something else to deal with the Teddy Hart incident, actually.
I completely forgot. We might have something from Gabe from Ring of Honor talking about
the Teddy Hart incident. Talking about the low-key incident, which was mentioned. I'm just totally stepping all over you. You can go ahead.
You are, indeed. But this was recorded just before Teddy's comments, because we didn't want to paint what Gabe was going to say. So we figured to record Gabe's stuff first, and then we record Teddy.
Right.
And they'd be done separately, and you can hear what they're saying.
Right.
Without them knowing what each other are saying. So,
yes, but we did use what he said in an interview with Low Key.
I know.
It is not the size of the fighter. It's the size of the fight he will bring.
That's quite a nice little slogan he got there. I quite like it when he says that.
I quite like it when he says that too.
And just to tie it all in, they reloaded.
We reloaded.
On January 9th, the MLW Reloaded. It is Low Key versus Homicide. Just
Low Key versus Homicide. Homicide. How will you fight? It's not the size of the fighter, but the size of the fight keep it ring.
Right.
Alright.
So, Nate,
Yes.
toodaloo into the Gabe
Toodaloo.
interview type recap thingy that
Toodaloo.
we use on a CM Punk interview. We figured, since we got Teddy on again, it fits. So, here we go. Gabe from MLW. He's, Gabe from Ring of Honor, my apologies. He's on the booking team there. And
He was also with ECW for a long time as part of RF Video. And you can always check out the newest Ring of Honor home videos not OT would be overtime, and that's what am I talking about? You can always find out the newest Ring of Honor videos and new information about the company at www.rfvideo.com.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Toodaloo.
Adios, as I said.
Oh, one other thing. This is not only our 50th anniversary show next show, but it's also going to be our Thanksgiving show.
Yeah, yada yada.
And I might have a little story.
American holidays. Hey.
Yes, the Pilgrims.
What's up with the American holidays? I don't get the day off. Hey, I'm gonna be working.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Paisan.
I'll tell you what. I might share a little story that are going to make even more people upset with me on our
Share
50th.
it till Thursday.
I might share it on our anniversary show.
Okay.
And it's going to piss off a couple people. But quite frankly, I don't give a shit.
Lovely jubbly. Let we go. I go now.
Let's listen to Gabe.
Yeah. Now for the first time the charm, Addy frickin' us.
Addy frickin' us. Somebody get me a hot pocket.
Goodbye.
Dr. Evil.
Here's Gabe.